Good morning, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are safe and secure. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome back to today's English online class. Children, today, before beginning the class, I would like to ask you few questions. How you begin your day? As you are all grown-up children, I hope so you begin your day with a small prayer. Isn't it, children? Are you praying to God daily? Yes. So today, let us begin our class with a small prayer. God, thank you for waking up me today that I am able to see the light of yours. Help me, my family and my friends to prepare for this day with love, peace, happiness and good health. As we all know, children, we are in a pandemic situation. So, firstly, we have to take care of ourselves. Today, I would like to share with you some few points. Children, spend some time for meditation. Here are some few steps to be followed for the simple meditation for beginners. Firstly, sit or lie comfortably. You may even want to invest in a meditation chair or cushion. Secondly, close your eyes. Third point, make no effort to control the breath. Simply breathe naturally. Fourth point, focus your attention on the breath and on how the body moves with each inhalation and exhalation. Hope so, children. You will definitely spend few minutes for doing meditation. Not only meditation, have proper food. Stay healthy. Stay home. Stay safe. Coming back to our class, children, we have already started our unit 1. The theme of the unit is humor. In the previous class, we have discussed and analyzed the reading A, the snake and the mirror. Once again, let us revise the lesson. The author of the lesson is Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. The Snake and the Mirror is a frightening tale told in a humorous way. The story has been written by V.M. Bashir, a well-known Malayalam writer. The incident in the story is both humorous and frightening. It also has a surprise ending. It is about a doctor's encounter with a snake in his room. An unmarried doctor with a very little income lived in a small rented room. The valuable in his room were some shirts, dhotis, a black coat, a vest, a box, a large mirror, a small comb, a kerosene lamp, a box of matches, a bed of 60 rupees of money in a suitcase. The room had no electricity, but it had many rats on its beams making noise. So already in the previous class, children, I have shown you the picture. On a hot summer night, the doctor reached his room after finishing his meal. He heard a familiar noise from above as he opened the door. He lighted the kerosene lamp and took off his clothes and hung them up. As he could not sleep, he sat down on the chair and started reading the book, The Materia Medica. What was the name of the book name, children? The Materia Medica. At the table on which stood the lamp and the large mirror. You can see the kerosene lamp and the mirror. He felt tempted and took a look into the mirror. See how the doctor is looking at the mirror? He began to admire his handsomeness and adjusted the parting of his hair. He had many youthful thoughts and decided to grow a thin mustache and to have an attractive smile on his face. Meanwhile, the doctor heard that sound 2 times from the above. He continued to have some more funny and silly thoughts like marrying a fat, rich woman doctor. Suddenly, there came a dull sound as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. When he turned to look what it was, a snake landed on his shoulder. So now let us continue with the part 2, the lesson, the snake in the mirror. I didn't jump, I didn't tremble, I didn't cry out. Here children, who is I in the given sentences here? Here I refers to the doctor. In the previous class I also told you that who is the narrator of the lesson? Yes, the doctor is the narrator of the lesson. In the lesson, the doctor itself is the narrator in the lesson. So I didn't jump. So the doctor didn't jump, didn't tremble. Meaning of tremble, shake in fear. I didn't cry out. Neither he cried. There was no time to do any such thing. So he says that there is no time at all to jump or to fear or to cry. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. So the doctor says that the snake slithered. Meaning of slithered, moved. Slowly the snake moved along his shoulder. Who is my here? The doctor. Doctor's shoulder and coiled. Coiled means rounded. Rounded around his left arm above the elbow. Here meaning of elbow, the upper part in the middle of the arm where it bends, isn't it? Where it bends. So that is called an elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. The hood, meaning of hood, an expanded part of snake's head, isn't it? You know the body of the snake, the hood. This is called the hood. So the hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. You can see how the hood was here and how was the head of the snake here. So it is 3-4 inches away from the doctor. I would not be correct to say merrily that I sat there holding my breath. Here meaning of merrily, simply. So he says he thought that it would not be correct to say simply that he sat there holding his breath. I was turned to stone. So how was he turned? Like a stone. He was sitting like a stone. But my mind was very active. Here whose mind, children? The doctor. The doctor's mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. Here meaning of surrounded by means encircled, rounded. The room was completely filled with the darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. So the doctor says that in the light of the lamp itself. You have already seen in the picture, you can observe the lamp. So in the light of the lamp itself, he sat like a stone. I felt that then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. Again he started to feel about the great presence of the creator. Here who is the creator of this world and this universe, children? Yes, meaning of creator, God. Here, according to this sentence, the meaning of creator is God. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. So the doctor says that I told to God something, the God did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in the bright letters outside my little hearts the words, "Oh God." So the doctor is saying that in his imagination he tried to write in the bright letters outside of his little heart in the words that, "Oh God." He thought of writing. What he thought of writing there? "Oh God." There was some pain in my left arm. So the doctor says that in his left arm there's some pain started. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. Here meaning of leaden. Heavy, meaning of molten. Heated to very high temperature, meaning of crushing, pressing. So here a heavy rod. The narrator says that a thick heavy rod, a rod made up of molten, that means which is heated with a very high temperature. It was slowly but powerfully crushing, means pressing his arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? So he says that the arm was beginning to be drained. Here meaning of drain, made weaker. So the doctor is losing his strength. So he questions himself that what could I do? At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. So at my slightest, meaning of slightest, smallest, meaning of slightest, smallest. At my smallest movement, the snake would strike. Meaning of strike means hit hard or bite him. So he says himself that at a very small movement, at the smallest movement, the snake would definitely bite him. Death looked 4 inches away. Here meaning of look, be about. So he thought of death is very near to me, that is 4 inches away. Suppose it struck, what was the medicine I had to take? So he questions himself that if the snake struck him up, what was the medicine should be taken? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. So doctor says that there were no medicines in the room because he was poor, foolish and stupid. Meaning of stupid means lack of thought, that he has no thought. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. Here meaning of feebly, very weakly. So he forgot about his dangers and started smiling very weakly at himself. It seemed as if God appreciated that. Again he says that it seemed that God itself appreciated. Meaning of appreciated, according to the sentence, here recognized or understood, as it seemed that God had understood that. The snake turned its head. So the snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. So the snake also started looking at its reflection. You can see in the picture how the snake is looking at its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. So I do not claim. Here meaning of claim, say that something is true. That something is true, that it was the first snake which had ever looked into the mirror. But it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. But he saw that, he says that the snake is looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? So the doctor questions that, is the snake admiring its own beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? So the doctor started questioning these many questions, that was the snake trying to take like an important decision like him? It was trying to grow a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara. Meaning of mascara, a substance put on eyelashes to make them look dark and thick. Meaning of vermilion, bright red in color. So the doctor is thinking that whether the snake wanted to grow a mustache or wanted to use an eyeshadow and mascara or wear a vermilion spot on its forehead. I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? So he thought of what was the snake? Was it the male or female? I will never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. So the snake slowly unwound means came out from the elbow of the doctor and slowly it started slithering into his lap. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Here meaning of crept. Crawled means slowly it crawled onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. Here meaning of closer quarters, the parts closely. So the doctor is saying that the snake wanted to admire its beauty very closely. The parts very closely. I was no mere image cut into granite. Here the meaning of I was no mere image cut into granite means the doctor no longer stood there like a statue. So the doctor did not stood like a statue. So it did not take so much time to stand like a statue. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Here meaning of a man of flesh and blood means a normal man. The doctor became a normal man. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. Slowly catch hold of his breath itself, the doctor got up from the chair and quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. Here meaning of leapt. Jumped a long way. So from there he jumped from a long way and he ran away from the room. Hew. Each of us heaved a sign of relief. Here meaning of hew. A sound that shows happiness. So the doctor, because as he ran away from that room, he was very happy and showed in his face. His expressions were showed on his face. Each of us heaved a sigh of relief. Here meaning of heaved a sigh of relief. Made a slow sound that expresses relief. How do you feel when you were tensed and your tension is relieved? How will you make the expression there? How will you make yourself relief there? In the same way, the doctor also got a small relief. All of us lit biddies. Somebody asked, Doctor, is your wife very fat? So in the same way, some of his friends, doctor's friends, as we all know that the doctor is discussing the story with his friends, no children. So some of the doctors suddenly, all of them they lit their biddies, and among one of them the doctor questions that, is your wife very fat? No, the doctor said, God willed otherwise. Meaning of willed, made happen. God made otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter. Here meaning of life companion means wife. Meaning of reedy, not pleasant, with a gift of sprinter, a fast runner. He says that his wife was a fast runner. Someone else asked, Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? So one of the doctor questions the narrator that, did the snake follow you? The doctor replied, I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. So where did the doctor reach there finally? He went to his friend's house. Immediately, I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. Here meaning of smeared means spread. He spread oil all over himself and he took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. Here meaning of changed means, according to the lesson, put on. He wore a different clothes. The next morning at about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. So next morning, the doctor, along with one of his friends, they moved to his room to take away his things from there. But we found we had little to carry. So after going into the room, they found that only there were little things to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. So meanwhile, what happened? The thieves had taken away some of the things. The room had been cleaned out. Now, how was the room looking, children? It is very clean. But not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. So among the things, the thief had left one of the thing, and it was the final insult to the doctor. What was that? I asked. So one of the doctor asked, what was that? What was the final insult? What happened to the doctor? The doctor said, my vest, the dirty one. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. So you can see in the picture this, how was the vest looking here, children? So the thief left the vest. He says that the doctor says to his friends that the thief had a little sense of cleanliness. Did you see the snake the next day, doctor? So the doctor questions that, did you see the snake the next day? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. So the doctor says that until now I did not see the snake again. It was the snake which was taken with its own beauty. Here meaning of taken with, attracted. The doctor says that it was a snake which was attracted by its own beauty. So hope so children you have understood this lesson. So how was the lesson, children? Is it humorous there? Yes, it's a funny and a humorous story. Let us once again go through the glossary of the lesson, The Snake in the Mirror, Part 2. Meaning of tremble, shaken, fear. Meaning of slithered, moved. Meaning of elbow, the part in the middle of the arm where it bends. Meaning of at closer quarters, from a short distance away. Meaning of hood, an expanded part of a snake's head. Meaning of merrily, simply. Meaning of I was turned to stone. The doctor sat like a stone without a movement. Meaning of surrounded by, encircled. Meaning of creator, God, according to the lesson. Meaning of leaden, heavy. Meaning of molten, heated to very high temperature. Meaning of crushing, pressing. Meaning of drained, made weaker. Meaning of slightest, smallest. Meaning of strike, hit hard, bite. Meaning of look, be about or lie in wait. Meaning of stupid, lack of thought. Meaning of feebly, very weakly. Meaning of appreciated, here recognized or understood. Meaning of claim, say that something is true. Meaning of mascara, a substance put on eyelashes to make them look dark and thick. Meaning of vermilion, bright red in color. Meaning of crept, crawled. Meaning of at closer quarters, the parts closely. Meaning of I was no mere image cut into granite. The doctor no longer stood there like a statue. Meaning of a man of flesh and blood, a normal man. Meaning of leapt, jumped a long way. Meaning of hew, a sound that shows happiness. Meaning of heaved, a sign of relief, made a slow sound that expresses relief. Meaning of wilt, made happen. Meaning of life companion, wife. Meaning of ready, not pleasant. Meaning of sprinter, a fast runner. Meaning of smeared, spread. Meaning of changed into, put on or wore different clothes. Meaning of taken with, attracted by. Coming to the comprehension questions, children. The doctor heard a sound coming from the above 3 times. What was it? So what was the sound that the doctor heard, children, which is coming above 3 times there? Yes, the doctor heard a sound coming from above 3 times. The sound was the hissing of a snake moving around the roof. But the doctor thought it was the movements of rats. Actually, what was the sound there, children? It was the sound of hissing of a snake. It was the snake was hissing there, so which was moving around the roof. But what did the doctor think? The doctor thought it was the movement of rats. Second question, why did the doctor sit like a stone? Why did the doctor sit, children? Because the doctor sat like a stone image, holding his breath without a slight movement, because the snake's head with the spread hood was hardly 3 or 4 inches from his face, isn't it? How was it? It's hardly 3 or 4 inches away from the doctor's face. The snake was hardly 3 to 4 inches away from the doctor's face. He feared greatly that if he moved, the snake would bite him. The doctor thought if he moved from that place, the snake would definitely bite him. So why the doctor sat like a stone? Coming to the third question, what made the doctor forget his fears and having a sense of relief? What made the doctor to forget his fears, children? Yes, and have a sense of relief. The doctor sat like a stone in fear of the snake's bites, isn't it? The doctor sat like a stone because of the fear of the snake's bite. But unknowingly, he thought of the medicine he had to take if he was bitten by the snake. Then he realized that there were no medicines in the room to relieve him from the danger of the snake's bite, isn't it? There were no medicines in his room. When he realized the thing, he felt that he was poor, foolish and stupid. When he realized that there were no medicines, if the snakes bite him, there were no medicines to use, he thought about him as a poor, foolish and a stupid doctor. Those thoughts made the doctor forget his fears and have a sense of relief. Coming to the next question. Why did the doctor run to his friend's house? Did the snake want to harm the doctor? Why or why not? Isn't it, children? Why did the doctor run to his friend's house? Because the doctor ran to his friend's house because of his fear. Moreover, he needed a bath, clothes, and shelter. The snake did not want to harm the doctor because its attention was diverted towards its reflection into the mirror. As it is looking into the mirror, it was diverted when he looked into the mirror. When the snake looked into the mirror, the doctor slowly got up from the chair and ran away to his friend's house. Children, finally I would like to ask you one question. That did the snake admire its own beauty? Yes or no? Tell me, children, did the snake admire its beauty? Yes, the snake admired its beauty looking into the mirror. Here are some few lines that support that snake admired its beauty looking into the mirror. So let us see in the textbook, where are the few lines, children, here? Yes, because the snake unwound itself from my arm, from the doctor's arm, and slowly slithered into his lap. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. So you look at the picture, children. Actually, the doctor is sitting on the chair. Slowly, the snake crept onto the table and started looking into the mirror and started admiring its own beauty, isn't it? So finally in the lesson, so did the snake admire its beauty? Yes. And did the snake wanted to harm the doctor? No, the snake did not wanted to harm the doctor. Children, write the given notes in CW and send it to my given WhatsApp number. Thank you. Have a nice day.